ladies and gentlemen, damsels and dingbats. I am your host, DM Renavio, and today we are going to be playing Axis and Allies 1942 online. Now, we're not going to be playing it online because I just woke up about 20 minutes ago, or rather, I just got out of bed about 20 hours ago. I am still in the process of waking up. I don't even think I know where I'm at right now. Did not sleep very well last night, but I never do. The point is, we're going to try to play this game in single player. And this is a game that I have many years of experience with, but I'm probably the most experienced Axis and Allies noob on the planet because I love this game. It's like the board game Risk on an unnamed, undescribed drug that makes it a lot more complicated and a lot crazier than it needs to be. It's based in 1940. We're going to play the 1942 edition. I don't know what this Harris Gen Con thing is, but basically it's a war game where you play one of the 5 countries or participants in World War II. Maybe I could purchase an industrial complex, which, as I described earlier, wherever you have an industrial complex building is where you get to place new units. Now, if I were to purchase an industrial complex this round, it doesn't get placed until the end of my turn, which means I would not be able to place any new units on a new area. Say, let's find one I can pronounce here. Archangel. I could purchase an industrial complex, and at the end of the round, I could put it in Archangel. But I would not be able to place any more units that I purchased this round in Archangel because there was not an industrial complex on this area at the beginning of the turn. So I would have to wait till my placement stage next turn. So I can place this industrial complex on any one of these that I own. It's generally a good idea to place it on one that has a larger staging value, like the cost of this one. It's worth 4. I can put 4 units on that one. Russia is worth 8. Karelia is only worth 2, but I believe they're up here because they have the ability to access the naval areas both here and in here. Forgive me for those of you over the pond who can just immediately glance at this body of water and blurt out the name of it, or this area up in here. I'm not geography savvy outside of my own region. But the point is, I need to buy units that I can either place in Russia, Karelia, or the and I believe those are the only 3 staging points that I currently have. I am not going to buy an industrial complex this early in the game because it is worth 15 industrial production credits. I currently have 24. That would take a humongous chunk of my current savings, and I can use my money a little bit better for a little bit better things right now. You can purchase air units, you can purchase fighters and bombers. This is for board game reference. Like, you really don't have to pay. I don't want to say this. I was going to say you don't really have to pay attention to these numbers in this game, but they do. So it does help to know what these are. This is the attack value of this particular vehicle. These are the defense numbers. These are the move numbers. The board game is based on the roll of 6-sided dice. So if you roll this number or higher, I believe it is, that dictates whether you manage to hit your target or not. This is the number that has to be rolled. No. This is how many dice you roll. So 3 dice, 4 dice. I'm trying to remember how this works. The defense number is the number that has to be rolled on each 6-sided dice for... So if you roll a 1... It's the 1, 2, 3, or 4? Yes, it's this number or lower that has to be rolled. So a fighter, anybody attacking a fighter, needs to roll a 1, 2, or 3, right? I don't remember, but the point is, these numbers dictate dice roll values that are necessary for attack, defense, and the movement's easy. I remember the movement. Fighters can move 4 territories. Bombers can move 6. So, you know, this fighter here, I can move 1, 2, 3, 4, any combination. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I believe moving into a C zone and out of a C zone also costs a movement point. So there are area units that you can purchase. As you can see, they're fairly spendy. The sea vessels, you can buy submarines, transports, destroyers, cruisers, aircraft carriers, and battleships. Each one of these does a different thing, has different combat values, have different special abilities that they can use, and so forth. But I'm not going to really be paying attention to purchasing naval units with Russia because I'm not really a big naval power. As you can see, I have 1 submarine, where if you come over here to the United Kingdom, they have all kinds of stuff all over the place. Germany has a fair amount of stuff all over the place. Japan and the United States, they're just crazy with their navies. So I'm not a naval big boy. The naval front is not my strong point. I have a defensive submarine up here, but that is it. And they are, you know, some of them get fairly expensive, so I'm not going to really focus. I might get transports later if the battle goes in my direction, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. This is the tab I'm going to be focused on, specifically infantry. They are the cheapest unit you can purchase. They don't attack worth crap. You have to roll a 1 to hit. If you roll anything higher than a 1, you miss your target. Artillery needs a 1 or a 2. Tanks, 1, 2, or 3. Anti-aircraft carriers, anti-aircraft artillery don't attack at all. You look at the defense on the infantry, they defend at a 1 or a 2. Artillery at a 1 or a 2. Tanks at a 1, 2, or a 3. And the anti-aircraft don't defend in, you know, unless there's, like, aircraft, obviously. Duh. Infantry move very slow, as do the artillery and the anti-aircraft artillery. But the tanks move a little bit faster. And, of course, they have a special ability called blitzing, which I'll explain later. So, the tanks are a really good unit. They have a good attack and defense value, and they move pretty quickly. But if you notice, they cost twice as much as the infantry, who have only slightly lower defense value. So what I like to do initially, I'm going to be on the defensive for a little bit. Because Russia, or Germany over here, Germany's just going to come over and try to spank me. And who knows what Japan's going to do during this game. But usually, at some point, he starts making his way through my weaker areas. He comes through and knocks out the United States. And now he's down here. And he likes to come up this way. And now he's over here. So I'm going to get swarmed. So I need as much defense as I can get. So I'm just going to go ahead and spend all of my industrial credits on infantry. So I am purchasing 8 infantry for defense units. So I'm going to go ahead and then what you do, of course, is you'd end phase. Up here, map notes. We're not going to worry about that too much. War diary. I think this is just a record of the things that you do throughout the game. Not going to worry about that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hold to end phase. I've spent 24 IPCs, have none left to purchase. This is just a summary, as it says, purchase summary. Go to next phase. Now it is my combat move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move units into combat, should I choose to do so. Any unit that I move in combat, I will not get to move in non-combat. Now, obviously, I will clarify what this means here in a minute. If we look at my front, my western front stretches all the way down right here. This is where I'm scared. And then over here, we have a little bit, a little bit of worry here. Japan could come up and attack up in here. I don't got a lot going on my eastern front, but they're not an immediate threat. I mean, they could if they wanted to, but they don't normally. So I'm going to focus on Germany. Now, if the UK does what it's supposed to, it's going to try and start attacking Germany on Germany's western front. So, all of the units that Germany sends to attack me, or to defend against me, those are units that they're not going to have to defend against the UK, and that later on, when the US gets its slow ass over here, against the United States. Now, when the United States and the UK combine their forces, they actually become a threat, as is true to history. So, this is not, this starts out historically, quote-unquote, accurate, but it doesn't stay that way very long, depending on how you play. So, what do I want to do? I can go on the attack. The more of these areas you count, like right now, Western Russia's worth 2, Belarusia is worth 2. The amount of production credit you get each turn is based on the total of these points that you have. So obviously, if you lose a lot of territories, your next turn, you're not going to have as much money to spend on forces. So I want to hold the territory I have while trying to gain more for monies. So I'm not an expert at this game. Like I said, I've played it a lot. A lot. I would say I'm what's competent, maybe, but I'm no pro. So if you are a pro and you're watching this and you're screaming, "Why did you do that?" I know. You don't have to stress yourself. I know. So what I'm going to do. What am I gonna do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I don't think I want to go on too heavy of an offensive, because the forces that I lose while attacking, I will not have for defending. Now, the Air Force, I like to use the planes. I think I want to take West Russia. I need to get the pressure of West Russia off of Russia. The more troops he can stage right here, he's infantry move 1 space, so he is within 1 space striking distance of my capital city. I'm not worried about the infantry from the Ukraine moving over into Russia, because they have to go 1 space into Russia first, or 1 space into the area I can't pronounce first. Tanks can move too. They cannot move through a territory where I have defending units, but any territory I own where I don't have defending units, say for example, the United States has nobody in Sinking. So if they had a tank, they could move the tank into this territory, take this territory, and then move the tank 1 more space, move its 2nd space into another area to attack or capture that territory. That is called blitzing. So that's a special ability that tanks have. So obviously, my capital is under threat from these tanks, but these tanks can also blitz in. Karelia is under threat, obviously, from not so much from Finland, because infantry suck as attacking units. So I'm not too worried about that, but they can get their tanks from here. they can move their tanks 1, because they can move through their own territories, whether they got units in it or not. They can move through their own territories. So he could move his tank 1, 2. So now I got 2 tank divisions to worry about. Oh, what do we have down here? A tank. 1, 2. There's 3 tank divisions. So, yeah, I need to think about defending here. If I lose this, I can't build things here. My allies can't stage units on their turn, cannot stage units in my territory. They would then have to capture it from Germany. So I'm thinking defensive right now. I bought all those infantry units specifically for defending. So it would be really stupid if I lost a lot of units attacking. But at the same time, like I said, I don't like what we got going on in Western Russia here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do a stupid, and I'm going to take my Air Force from Russia, and I'm going to send it into West Russia for an attack. I'm going to attack these land units. There are no anti-aircraft guns in West Russia, so I don't have to worry about the anti-aircraft guns shooting my Air Force as they strafe through. Oh, hold on. That was a misclick. I'm going to go ahead and send my Air Force from Karelia in to help. And what else do I want to do? I've got a tank over here that's just defending an Archangel, which the only thing it's really defending against right now is from West Russia. So my logic says if I send these troops in Archangel into West Russia, the best defense is a good offense, right? They got a lot of infantry here. So do I commit to this and build up? If I capture West Russia, I leave the troops that I send in, except for the Air Force. I'll explain that in a minute. But the troops that I send into West Russia at the end of the turn stay in West Russia. So if I sent in my infantry and my tanks and my artillery piece, I could potentially overwhelmingly take West Russia. And that means all of my troops in these regions are on my defensive line. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to regret it all, but I'm going to send in my tanks. I'm going to send in my infantry because other than West Russia, right now the infantry are not defending against anything else. So I'm going to want them on my front. I will go ahead and send in... Which unit is this? See, the board game, I'm not used to these pieces. I think that's an anti-aircraft gun. And this is an artillery piece. So I'm going to go ahead and send the artillery piece in. Now, I could send these troops in as well. Just go hog wild all in, but as I stated earlier, Karelia is under threat from Finland. They can get their Air Force in to attack there. I have all these tanks I talked about that can get up there. He's got Air Force over here. So I don't want to weaken my Karelia defense by attacking into Belarusia or the Baltic states, because I don't have a lot of forces to hold those with if I do manage to take them. And he's got a lot more forces down here, so he would easily be able to break that line and come in, and then I've lost Karelia, which I'm probably going to do anyway. But he's also got this navy down here. He's got a transport. He can put troops on the transport and then drop them off in Karelia, where I would no longer have troops. So that would be dumb. So I'm going to go ahead and leave those there. So I'm going to do an attack on West Russia. What else can we do here? If I succeed and I move my line up here, the Koskas would still be needing to be defended. There's a fair number of troops here. I could attack. I could push and try to push my line here. But, you know, those of you familiar with Risk, the harder you push, the more pieces you potentially lose, and the weaker you risk leaving yourself when it's Germany's turn to attack. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave this here for now. It's a good defensive setup for now. What else do I have going on in the world? I have a unit over here in Kazakh. I could move over to help with defending here. I could move him down to help defend my American allies or my UK allies. But since he's not moving directly into a fight, that is what would be considered a non-combat movement. If I wanted to move this guy anywhere he can move, remember, he only has a movement of 1, so no matter where I move him, it's going to be a non-combat movement. Right now, I'm only permitted to do combat movements. So let's see if I have any other combat movements. Now, over here, I am contesting with the Japanese in Manchuria. But I only have 2 infantry that can actually get into the fight. I can move the infantry from Yakut and Soviet Far East down into Buryatia, but they only move 1, so they can't actually get into the fight. I don't have a transport over here. I can move them down to get them into the fight, and even if I did, I mean, there's no Japanese naval presence here, so I suppose I could, but it's pretty much guaranteed on Japan's turn they would nuke anything silly like that. But right now the point is I can't do it. So sending 2 infantry in, which, remember, they only attack at 1. You roll a 6-sided dice, and if it rolls anything other than a 1, you miss. But they defend it too. And he has 3 defensive units, not to mention this plane up here, this fighter. So attacking would not, that's pretty much, I'm guaranteed going to lose that. Do I have any other? I have a submarine up here. Really isn't doing any good here. But I might be able to send it over to help my allies. Can I move this as a combat move? I don't think I'd be able to. Now, submarines can move 2. All naval units can move 2 spaces. So this would be 1. And this would be 2. Can I do this? No. Again, not a combat move. So I think that's it for my combat movement. I don't have a presence really anywhere else. I'm fairly centralized in this area. So we are going to go ahead and commit to this battle plan. Can I move through Karelia and undock here? That would be stupid even if I could. I don't think I can. Let's just see if we can. Because I know in Risk sometimes you can do stuff like that. No, King can't do that anyway. Even if I could, it would be dumb because he's got 2 submarines, a transport which he can use for cannon fodder. He's got I believe that's a battleship. Yeah, no, we're not going to be all psycho crazy. Do we have any other Air Force? Are those 2 planes the only Air Force I have? Okay. So that looks like about all we're going to be able to do. So we're going to go ahead and end the phase. Commit. It's going to go into its combat stage, which I will show you. Well, probably through most of this, I'm just going to skip. I'm going to do like fast combat. But I'll show you what it looks like this first time. Now is the resolution stage. All of the combat orders that I have placed right here, this is the only combat order I have. The only battlefront I have. So that's why it's a red. If I had placed, combat, say I had been dumb enough or had the ability to attack down here in Manchuria, this would be red as well. But I've only got the 1. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to end the phase. I need to click here. And then click the fight button. So then we're going to go into this cute little animation. It's got my units over here and what they attack at. Or what they need to roll to succeed. And this is what they need to roll to defend. So his defenses are fairly strong, actually. The only reason I sent the infantry in is because I'm going to take losses, and if I can... Well, here, I'll just show you. So I'm going to click Start Combat, and dice are going to roll. So, I rolled a bunch of dice for my infantry. None of them hit. None of them rolled ones. My artillery, I had two artillery, because I sent the artillery unit in and the infantry unit that was pulling it. They both hit on their twos, so I got lucky there. And of my 2 fighters and my 3 tank units, 5 of those, all 5 of them hit on the dice roll that they needed to roll. So they're going to lose 7 units of their choice. They can lose... That's what the infantry are for. So I'm just going to click continue and let them choose who gets hit. All of them have been hit. But now, before they're taken out of the game, they get to do their defensive roll. So this is what they need to roll. Each of them gets their own dice. So they'll roll 3 dice for the 3 infantry and 1 dice for the artillery piece. And they need to get a 2 or less on those dice to hit me back. They have 1 tank, so they'll get 1 dice that needs a 3 or less. The tank succeeded in hitting me back. They did not with the lesser units. So now I need to choose who I want to lose from that 1 defensive strike. This is why I sent the infantry in. Infantry are dirt cheap. They don't attack worth crap. But I sent them in so that if they succeeded with any of their retaliatory strikes, I'm not losing my more expensive fighters, my more expensive tanks. So I'm going to go ahead and take 1 hit to one of my infantry units. And I'm going to click continue. I'm not sure why it does this part. Because they don't have any other units. But, so I won that fight. I lost 3 industrial production credits worth of units. They lost 19. So that is a good result for me. Little combat summary of what just happened. Now we're going to the non-combat movement. So, these planes cannot land here because I just took West Russia. I did not start my turn with this being friendly territory. So I need to land these planes with the remaining movement somewhere friendly. So I know that Karelia is going to get attacked and probably taken with overwhelming force. I know that they want to take my capital. Right now the only threat to my capital is the Ukraine. Basically anything they have here that they can... If they can take West Russia, they cannot move through West Russia into Russia until they deal with my defenses. So I have at least 1-2 turns before I have to worry about defending Russia. But I don't want to lose these planes. I could put them up in Karelia, and they would probably be a big help to my defensive line in Karelia. But I suspect I'm going to lose Karelia no matter what I do, and I would like to keep these planes for later. So I'm going to go ahead and move them into Russia. Even though Russia is not threatened right now, I'm preserving those units. So any aerial units that I use in a combat during the non-combat move have to be moved into friendly territory. Now, you notice how the units I used in combat do not have the white circles around them. As I said earlier, any units used in combat cannot be used in non-combat. So that's what these white circles are for, just to remind me what units I still have left. So, I want to move the submarine. It's doing me no good up here. You know, if Germany did decide for some weird reason to come all the way up over here, I would have a submarine for defense. Big deal. I'm not going to be purchasing any naval units. I don't plan on purchasing any naval units anytime in the near future. So my navy is pretty much pointless. But I can move it 1. Do I have to do both of them at the same time? Okay. How do I undo this? Nope. Nope. Give me a second here. Okay, so I moved them 1. Again, naval units can move 2. I'm going to move them here. Move them. Okay. Can we undo? I got one more movement. Move. I need you to move. Okay, fine. I'll undo the movement. I want to move them 1, 2 to here. Now, the reason for that is if I move them here to defend the United Kingdom's eastern shore, Germany's just going to swat it with its navy, or I don't remember if in this version if Air Force can attack submarines or not. I think they can, unless they're submerged. But that's a whole rule that I don't need to go into because I have one submarine and it's not worth the time. The UK has some navy here that I can reach. If I move that submarine here, and if Germany attacks here with its Air Force or with its Navy, that my submarine is going to participate in that fight, and the UK can use that submarine basically as cannon fodder to take a hit to help save one of its units in that kind of fight. I don't have any value for that submarine otherwise, so I'm going to go ahead and put it here to try and help bolster the UK Navy right here, at least a little bit. It usually never works, but I don't care. Non-combat. I'm going to leave these guys here in Karelia because German Nasty's right here. They're probably going to try to invade up into Karelia, so I don't have any defensive units there, really. There's really nothing I can do. Since I decided to preserve my Air Force, they're not going to be there to defend. Germany's going to be making a move down in Africa. It always does. So the UK could probably use a little backup, helping to defend here. Japan always takes out the United States over here, so I can reach this area. They have a pretty strong defensive setup here. Well, no, that's a complete lie. They only have 2 infantry, which are good defenders, but this bomber doesn't defend worth crap. And if they build up enough of a force and come in and take this, what do I want to do with this? I think I'm going to leave this here, because this is going to need to be defended at some point, and he's already here, so I'm going to leave this all here. This isn't doing any good right now, because you cannot move. These are neutral. This means it's neutral. You cannot move units into or through a neutral territory. So in order for Japan to attack me, it either has to go through the United States areas, or it has to come through here. So this is a good choke point for me. So I think I'm going to move... Decisions. I'm actually going to move these 2 infantry from this largely unpronounceable area into Archangel. Not because I need defenses here, but because eventually I'm going to need more defenses here. And they only move 1. Wait a minute. Yes. So I'm going to move them both up here. I thought about maybe moving them through Vologda. Bologna. I thought about moving them through here to get them into Russia at some point, because I will need defenses in Russia, but if I need the defenses in Russia, they're still one area away from Russia, like they would be here. So right now I can move them from here. I'll be able to move them either into Karelia, into Russia, into my Western Front in West Russia. So that's a good place to put those. I'm going to go ahead and move these guys into Russia. Like I said, it's going to be a turn or 2 before I have to worry about defending this area. So I want to build up my Western defenses as much as I can. because Germany is not just going to stand here and take this crap from me. They're going to retaliate. I'm going to lose ground. The more forces I have over there defending, the more they're potentially going to lose taking said ground. Now, here, I've no delusions that I'm going to go on the offensive here. It's not so much that he has a lot of forces over here already. It's that he's got a decent capacity of moving troops from here, from their mainland, onto mine. They have a better capacity of getting troops into a fight here than I do from here. So I'm not going to go on the offensive, but if I move these guys down here, that bolsters this defense a little bit, this choke point. I could move these down as well, but then that leaves the Soviet Far East wide open, and all they got to do is drop a dude on a transport, move the transport up, and drop him off, and it'll be non-contested because I won't have any dudes there. So I think I'm just going to leave them there as well. Pretty sure. That's all I really want to commit to right now. I mean, I could move all these guys down into my front to defend my front, but then I'm leaving Karelia wide open. I want to leave some defenses there. So let's go ahead and click to hold. Again, this is just a little summary of what I've done. Now, those 8 infantry units that I purchased, I need to mobilize them. As I stated earlier, I can only mobilize them into areas where I had these industrial complexes at the time of purchasing the units at the beginning of the turn. So I can actually place some down here as well, but I can't place them like over here because I don't have any of those industrial complexes. The number on the right is how many of these units I can place in this area because of the limiting factor that I expressed before. It's hard to see right now, but that is the number value of the zone. You can see this is the number value, so I can only place 4 units here, 8 units in my capital, 2 over here. This number here is how many of those units I have already placed. Karelia needs defense. They're going to get taken out, so I want to put a couple units in Karelia. So if I place both 2 units, the maximum here, you can see that I no longer have space to build any more units or to mobilize any more of these units into Karelia. But I can still put them in my capital, and I can still put them down here in Caucasus. Caucasus is in danger as well, because if Germany wishes, he's got all kinds of crap that he can just blam. So I'm probably going to lose that at some point. But I can put 4 units here. The capital is ultimately what I want to keep, but we're not in any direct threat. We're not under any direct threat right now. I mean, I suppose he could... No, I don't think he can even send an air force in, because I think if he flies over West Russia, he has to... I don't remember how that works. But, I mean, he can only do so much damage with his fighters. And if he uses his fighters to attack my industrial complex in Russia, he's not going to be able to use those fighters to attack in his land grab attempts. So I'm going to go ahead and put the majority of my remaining forces here in Caucasus. I still have 2 left, so it's not like I'm completely ignoring Russia. So I placed all of the pre-purchased units. I will end turn. Finish the summary. And now Germany's going to go. And since Germany is a computer operated opponent, I can't really dictate what he's doing here. He take the Karelia, excuse me. He did take Karelia as I assumed he would. He always does. And now he's got a ridiculously large force of armor and infantry here in Karelia. He decided not to move on Caucasus or West Russia. So he still has some troops down here. I can't get all big-headed about this because he is still a threat over here. But he did take Karelia. Now, having taken Karelia, it's not going to take him much effort to punch through Archangel down into my capital. So, I can't let him keep this. Plus, it's got an industrial complex on it, so he can begin. He couldn't do it this turn because he just took Karelia. On his next turn, if he still has Karelia, he can start dropping units into Karelia, and I don't want that. So I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Let's try to take a look and see what else happened during other turns. It doesn't look like Japan moved much. As a matter of fact, it looks like the United States made some progress in moving down into Guangdong and Yunnan. They're not going to keep that very long because, you know, 2 infantry is not going to hold up very long versus this and all of the capability they have of moving stuff on. That does not concern me too much right now. Basically what that's doing is that means that the United States bought me 1 round where they're distracting the Japanese. The Japanese are going to focus on them here instead of me. Hopefully. Hard to predict anymore. What did the UK do? The UK moved up and is contesting the German-occupied areas of Africa. So that's good. They're going to keep Germany occupied down here. These guys are actually in Gibraltar. They're not in Spain, Portugal. They just have the units shown up here because there isn't a lot of space in Gibraltar to show them. So they're going to use their navy to control these sea zones here. It looks like Germany did attack this naval area. Their submarine that was here is missing, so it looks like they might have sent their submarine up. My submarine is gone, so my submarine did its job. It took one for the team. I don't see much movement over here by the United States, but they're probably building up their transport, their logistics over here so they can start shipping guys across the ocean. Yeah, I'm not entirely certain, but right now none of this looks like it concerns me too much. This is good because it's distracting the Japanese for a round. This is bad. This is what I need to focus on. Now, I can see this little area here. They left this wide open. So if I wanted, and I'm probably going to do it just to be annoying, I'm probably going to push through Belarusia into the Baltic states to take as much territory as I can. The more territory I take, the more territory they have to dedicate resources to taking back. So that puts them on the defensive, and the longer I keep them on the defensive, the less offensive capability they're going to have. I do not like how strong Ukraine is building up here with their defenses. I'm sure they anticipate I'm going to try to take the Ukraine. Okay, this is what these here mean. This is this. This means that the United Kingdom and the United States are both planning to try and land forces and take France. So they're telling me this because they're like, hey, if you have the ability to get any forces over there to help us with this plan, it would be much appreciated. This is just the game's way of, you know, when you play this at the tabletop, actually, you know, you have to communicate with your teammates on your turn with what you're doing. You got to work together. So this is the way the game represents that aspect of the board game, is by simply keeping in communication with you what your allies' plans are doing, so that if you wish to participate, if you can participate, you can work together with them. But I got nothing over here. I have no way of getting anything over here right now. So thank you guys for letting me know that you're going to be annoying Germany on the west coast. That means that if you succeed over there, Germany now has to worry about its western front. And if I do enough damage over here, it's got to worry about its eastern front. And now Germany has to split and fight on two fronts. And it's never good to fight on two fronts. Trust me. I'm Russia. I know. So I think I'm going to utilize... See, I need to attack. I need Karelia back. But, I need to purchase units first. I still want to be on the defensive. Especially... This is really tempting to me. I can send tanks up through here to take these. Ultimately, I want to attack in Karelia. So I can send these tanks in to attack in Karelia. I can just send them straight in. But remember, tanks have a blitz ability. So I can send tanks through Belarusia. Take Belarusia, since there's nobody there to defend it, and then move up into Karelia. And that's what I'm really thinking about doing. But then also, the Baltic states, there's very little defense here. So I might be able to send one or two of these tanks, instead of sending them up into Karelia, I can send them over into the Baltic states and take the Baltic states, which would be nice. But anything I send there isn't going here. And as you can see, like I said, they've got some really good defenses right here, right now. And if I stage an attack here and I fail, anything they have left is going to be a threat to this front. So, what do I want to do? I think I'm just going to go ahead and spend one more round focusing on sheer defensive numbers. I'm not going to be able to place anything in Karelia because I don't own it at the beginning of the turn. So I currently have a staging capacity of 8 in Russia and 4 in the Caucasus. So that's 12, basic math here. So let's go ahead and, let's just go ahead and buy. Okay. So I still have 2 IPCs remaining because I can't purchase anymore. But I'm just going to go ahead and purchase the 8 infantry again. I have enough places that I can put them. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Go to the next stage. Now it's the combat move again. Now, need to commit to something here. Planes are not great at defense. I mean, they're not horrible at defense, but if we look at the units here... Nope, it's not going to let me look. How do I do that? Alright. Planes are too expensive to use solely for defense. So I don't want to lose them in a straight up defensive nature. Why are these red? I have not placed... Are these just showing me that these are high threat areas? Is that why these are red? Because I haven't placed any combat orders yet. Oh well. Now we see the UK has actually moved in an infantry unit into the Caucasus to help me defend. So that's cool. I can't resist this. I'm going to take these 3 armor. I'm going to move 1, 2 up into the Baltic states. Do I want to move all 3 of them? No, I'm going to move 2 of them. Okay, and then I'm going to take this last armor, and I'm going to move it up into Karelia. Now, I'm weakening my western front. I'm probably going to lose this. But as long as I leave somebody there, hopefully they won't be able to just blitz through it into my capital. I either want to take this back or weaken it as much as possible, and hopefully my allies can get up there and do something about it. So, again, infantry suck as attackers. But the more infantry I have in this fight, the more cannon fodder I have really don't have a lot that I can... This may actually be a mistake. Because I could move these planes up to attack here. Move these infantry in to attack here. And again, they'll just largely be defensive units. I can move this one armor up here through my western front. I can't get anybody else in there. So I'm going to have 2 infantry, 2 fighters, and a tank versus 5 tanks and 5 infantry. That's just going to slaughter me. There's no chance. So I think I'm not going to do this. I am not going to do this. Yeah, 2 infantry, 2 tanks, and 2 fighters is not going to do anything. I mean, I could knock some of the guys down and weaken this, but then Archangel has no defenses. I no longer have an air force, and I've weakened both the Western Front and the Caucasus line here. It's just, I can't, I want to, but I can't. So, I think, I hate having fighters just sitting over there doing nothing. I could push. So, I could take all of these troops and these fighters, and I can move them into the Ukraine SSR and stand a reasonably good chance of taking it. I could push my front line up here. But the problem with that is that all of my units are then going to be here, and I'm not going to have anyone defending Western Russia. Which means these tanks, which can move 1, 2, 1, 2, can just roll right into my capital. Don't like that. But I did buy a bunch of defensive units that I can place. I still have infantry that I can move into defensive positions. I think I'm going to risk it. Going to risk it for the biscuit, and this is either going to be brilliant, depending on what my allies do, or it's going to be retarded. But I'm going to go ahead and send in everything I got right here. I can send in the anti-aircraft, but they don't attack. They only defend. And I don't know if sending them into this fight, if they're going to be useful against these fighter planes. And it would be a shame to lose them if they don't work that way. So I'm just going to leave them there for now. We'll move these planes down in here to help. And I think that is all she wrote for combat maneuvers. I can't get my infantry here into any kind of a fight combat-wise. I can send these guys, I could send these guys into Karelia, but that would just be suicide. So I think for now, that is what I'm going to commit to. And I'm going to commit to it. I did not read that warning. Yay. Alright, so I have 2 combat areas I'm dealing with. I'm sending, you see I took Belorussia. They just automatically gave it to me. Because as my tanks are moving through, there's no defenders here. So I just claimed it. And then I'm going to blitz through into the Baltic states. So let's go ahead and take care of this fight first. Can we skip this? Don't need to see the dice on it. I guess I can't skip this. Okay, so we're just going to power through this real quick. He didn't get any defensive shots off. I managed to take it easily enough. The Baltic states are now mine, boys. The Baltic states are now mine. Now, of course, Russia's going to, or Germany, rather. I've now left no defenders in Belarusia, which is what blitzing is. So they're going to be able to blitz me in return, and they're probably going to come over here and slap me silly. But right now, my defensive tactic is be as annoying as I can for as long as possible, so that Germany is devoting troops to dealing with me, and any troops they're using dealing with me, they're not using dealing with the United K or the sleeping giant that's slowly going to creep over here. So I'm just being a distraction. Let's go ahead and take care of this fight real quick. Let's do it to it. All right. Woohoo! I hit 3 of them boys, and they're gonna probably lose infantry. That's what I would do. Cheapest defensive units. Yep. We'll see how badly I get mauled in the process here. Woo! That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Now, when a battle lasts longer than just 1 round, you get to choose whether you're going to retreat your units or press on. And that was a really good round. I did not lose hardly anything, so I'm going to go ahead and push my luck here. They lose 3 more units. Oh, that was a little bit more. But I am going to go ahead and lose infantry. Again, as always, cheaper units. Auto-assign hits should... Oh, I lost 4. 1, 2, 3... Why am I losing 4? Alright, hold on. Two of the... Oh, these are what they hit me with. Okay, so they did get 4 hits. Okay, yeah. Sure, whatever. Now, they have very few defensive units left. They're reasonably good defensive units. I mean, no, that's a lie. Or is it? I don't know. I'm going to press on. I'm committed. I'm committed. And both of their units are down. Their defenders suck. Okay. Finish. So, I've lost 18 industrial production credits worth of units. They lost a lot more than I did. That's what I like to see. So now I need to, again, return my planes. I can't leave them in the Ukraine because I did not possess the Ukraine at the beginning of the turn. I suspect... Oh, and I didn't send in all my units. So I did inadvertently leave behind a defensive unit. They cannot get into Russia in 1 turn. They can't blitz tanks into Russia because I have defending units in Archangel, so they have to at least stop. It's going to take them 1 turn to deal with that at least. They could do so easily. But they could not then use those tanks, which were in combat. They can't do 2 combats in 1 round with the same units. So my capital's safe from an Archangel attack this next round. Same thing with West Russia. I think I'm going to move my planes into West Russia. I'm probably going to lose them, because if I were Germany, I would at least send this tank column, these 5 tank units, down into West Russia. To try and take West Russia back. That way they can, well, and of course, Belarusia. That way they have a chain or an attack line into my capital. Would be easier if they took Archangel, but see, they're cut off now. So they're going to want to take something in here back to regain their supply lines. So they're probably going to attack in this area. So I'm probably going to lose the planes in West Russia, but they will be useful in defending and they will cause more losses from their retaliatory strike. Putting them in Russia is going to do nothing this round. Yes, it will conserve them, but I think I want to put them here and bolster this defense a little bit. I don't have to worry about defending the Caucasus anymore because they're not under any immediate threat from anybody. Now, that is not entirely true. If Germany had troops on this transport, it could move its transport 1, 2, and it could lay siege with troops on its transport here in the Caucasus. It could take its battleship in with that and do a land bombardment with its battleship. Because when a battleship participates in how did they call those? A beach assault? A land assault? They get a free shot on the defenses of the mainland with the battleship. But there are no troops on this transport. And in order to get troops on the transport, he would either have to move 1, 2 and load from here. And since he can only move 2, that would be the end of his movement. He does have an artillery here. So he could go 1, 2 and load artillery. And don't know if he can unload on the same round. But 1 artillery unit against infantry, that's risky. He could come up here and grab this infantry. Then he could move the transport here and move the artillery. And then unload both the infantry and the artillery, which would probably kick my butt. But then he's leaving his whole southern coast. I don't think he's going to risk. The chances of him pulling a maneuver like that off, I don't think he's going to risk that. It's just not that big of a gain. And then he's got very limited troops behind my lines. I mean, he could do it if he wanted to, but I don't think he's going to, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I need to worry about, I mean, I have good defenses in Ukraine now. 6 infantry and an artillery. That's pretty good defenses. 2 fighter jets, a tank unit, and an artillery is decent defense in West Russia, but not against this. So I need to figure out how to get some more defenses here for now. So I can move my 3 infantry over. Again, they cannot just attack directly my capital without first moving through Archangel or West Russia. So it's going to take them at least 1, 2 turns to get over here. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and move these 3 infantry into West Russia. And again, the reason why I'm doing that is because I did buy all those infantry units at the beginning of the turn. So I can replace those 3 infantry. I could move these 2 infantry from Archangel down and really bolster West Russia. But then I've left my back door wide open. And that whole they need 2 turns to get into my capital thing is mute because tanks can blitz. And if I've got nobody defending here, they're just going to blitz straight through Archangel into my capital. We don't want that. So this is not a fight. If he decides to send troops into Archangel, he's taking Archangel. But those 2 troops could buy me a turn because he can't just go into my capital. So I think I'm going to leave them there. This is not the strongest defense. I would love to have this stronger, but there's really nothing else I can do. Because, oh, that's not true. I could move my anti-aircraft up here to West Russia, and that would mean that if he sent his aircraft in, that would be annoying for his aircraft. And you cannot take land with aircraft. So even if there's nobody in the territory, like over here, if he had fighters that he could send in to attack it, there's nothing to attack. But there's also no logistical area where they could land. So since you can't land your planes in a territory that you don't own, or that your allies don't own, they can't land here. They can't claim this. So they couldn't take this within Air Force. So if I move this anti-aircraft gun up, the worst they would be able to do is send in planes and attack my industrial site. And what that would mean is if they succeeded in attacking my industrial site, I would lose... I would have to spend IPCs or spend money in repairing it. Because the more damage they do to it, it affects how many units I can, of this 4 here that I can place. So right now it's at its full capacity of 4. So if they did 2 points of damage to it with an air raid, I would either have to spend money during my purchase units phase to repair that industrial complex, or I would then only be able to place 2 units in the Caucasus of the 4 limit, because my industrial complex has only got a capacity of 2. It had 2 of its 4 knocked out. You see the point. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just saying they could. They could. This fighter could go 1, 2, I'm annoying, 3, land here. It could do it. But I don't think they're going to do it. And I think this is going to be more useful for me right here. For now. For now. I can move it back later if I need to. These units can still be moved. Thus the circle. But I'm not going to, because I need that defensive line there. Everything else has been used in combat. Let's go ahead and move on to the next phase. And my 8 infantry. I'm not too worried about this getting attacked right now. It's possible at some point. If the tide changes down here and the Germans move up through here, that could be a problem. If Japan takes care of this over here, this could be a problem. But right now, this is not a problem. I can't build up here anymore because they done took it from me. So I'm going to drop all 8 of my defensive units right here. So now you see, as I said, moving those 3 infantry from my capital into West Russia, not a big deal. It helps to bolster West Russia a little bit from this inevitable onslaught. But I still have defenses here because of what I purchased. So I'm going to go ahead and place them. Now, what I'm seeing here is the Axis still needs 2 more capitals. So it looks like we need 4. So it looks like they did manage to take a capital. Now, what that is, actually, I'm being dumb. They did, in fact, take a capital. Because if you remember, this is a capital city area. So when they took this from me, I actually lost us a point in the victory goals by losing that. They didn't take Archangel. They did. Remember when I said they weren't going to stand for this? They wanted to reconnect their lines. That's exactly what they did. So they moved some of those tanks down. They took this. They got more tanks in here. So it looks like what they did was they moved this group of tanks from here down in to the Baltic states. They probably blitzed or something. I don't know. Yeah, they probably blitzed. I wasn't paying attention. So those 5 tanks were here. And then they moved one of the infantry units they had up here down in to take Belarusia, which was uncontested. Then, on their placement, when they placed the units they purchased, they just placed 2 of them here. Because they have that ability now, which is annoying to me. And they did take Archangel. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I knew that was going to happen. It's just too tasty of a target. And now, Germany can just walk right through all of this unprotected stuff. So this is now a problem. It does not look like Japan's going anywhere here for now. Got some good defenses going on right here. Japan did take Yunnan and Kwangtung back, which is to be expected. And now the United States is in... Actually, they took... No, this is what the U.S. starts with over here, I think. I don't think they had Anhui. They might have. They probably did. The point is, the United States is not going to maintain its presence over here much longer. This is usually a contested area. India's got a production value of 3. It has a production facility. And it's far enough away from the UK capital that it is difficult to get forces down here. So Japan usually does like to put some pressure, eventually put some pressure and try to take this. Doesn't look like they're under any threat right now. There's no real offensive force through here. The Japanese Navy is completely void of this area. Looks like they're focusing on their logistics here to drop troops off here. And Pacific Stage. Wow, the Pacific Stage is actually fairly freaking vacant. So it looks like the United States is taking its entire naval presence and moving it to the Atlantic Ocean. You see they're making a move. They're slowly moving forces eastward. Transports, support vehicles, or support vessels. So yeah, they're definitely getting ready to try and do something. They weren't sending false intel about this whole France thing. So, I'm taking the Ukraine. The United States was real quick to get a bomber crew over here. They're probably intending to hit... This puts them within striking range of both Germany and Rome. The production centers there. Now, bombers can do... what do they call that? Basically, instead of attacking the land units, they can bomb the industrial complex, which causes, as I stated earlier, it causes the area to be less productive when it comes to placing units. In other versions of the game, it also removes an equivalent value of industrial production credits. I'm not sure if it does that in this version of the game, but it's clear they've got this bomber over here. Actually, is that a bomber or is that a fighter? Each of the models for... Yeah, see, my models for my fighters look like this, and my models for my bombers look like this. This is a fighter. Okay, so this isn't a bomber. So they're sending in fighter units to help with defense and, you know, offensive stuff here. So I don't know what does the U.S. bomber look like? I'm sure they have one. Oh, this is the U.S. bomber right here. Okay, so ignore what I was saying about the industrial bombing runs. They're not going to be doing that with the fighters, but they can do that with bombers if they get bombers over here. They have taken Morocco from the Germans. The United States has landed in Africa, which means they're going to probably start using this as a staging point to help remove the Germans from Africa. They will then be able to get their Navy in and their Air Force in here and begin helping take care of the German naval presence. They are securing their foothold on the Western Front here. So, I just need to continue being annoying for a little bit longer, but I don't want to overexert myself and put myself in a position where I'm going to lose my capital and get knocked out of the game, which is still a very real possibility here. Not too worried about them attacking me from Archangel. Again, infantry are crappy offensive units, but he can blitz with these tanks through Archangel into my capital now. I don't like that. I'm not worried about these because 1, 2, they can't quite get there yet. He's more than likely going to use these in an assault on my western line here somewhere. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like that he's still in Karelia. His defenses here aren't that great. I could probably take Karelia fairly easily by moving my units from West Russia up into Karelia. I would take Karelia, I would cut Archangel off from their lines, and I could whittle him down a little bit here. I think that's actually what I want to do. I could send my 8 infantry into Archangel and destroy this, but, again, infantry, crappy offensive pieces. So, Poland, Belarusia, both very weakly defended right now. I could push my line forward again and be one step next to their capital. I could be right next to the capital, and that's going to freak them out, and they're going to focus on beating me back. And the United States is right there. Right there. So if I can cause Germany to allocate its forces towards me and away from the western coast, the United States is just going to walk on them. And I'm willing to lose troops for the larger glorious victory. But I don't want to lose my capital in the meantime. So as tempting as it is to try and take this back and weaken my core, I think I'm going to try for the long game here. So I'm going to move my armor. Oh, I'm buying units. Buying units. I'm not combating yet. So I do want to still focus on defense, but the German line is pretty weak. I mean, except right here, this is weak. I might be able to get away with buying some offensive units. No, I'm going to keep playing the defensive game. I'm going to buy more defensive units. I have to. Because the moment I get cocky, they're going to walk on me. Because they still have a lot of money coming in. They could very easily swat me like a fly. Especially with what I'm about to do. So I need to be able to survive the retaliatory strike. Because there will be a retaliatory strike. Well, I can use these forces to move into Poland, which will leave the Ukraine open. And then they can use these forces-ish to move into the Ukraine. They can blitz down through Bulgaria into the Ukraine and take the Ukraine if I leave it open. But they're still not in Russia. They're still not down here in the Caucasus. I basically have not lost anything that I started with. So my line is still advancing. I think I want to do that. I want to freak out Germany a little bit. So let's go ahead and send all of this into Germany. We're going to blitz. Do we want to blitz? Yes, we want to blitz. We cannot get this infantry or this artillery unit to this fight. They only move one, and they can't blitz. But the tank can blitz, so I can get this tank into this fight. I can use these 3 infantry to go here. Okay. I can use this artillery to go here. I can use the 2 planes just to make sure. I mean, 1 infantry versus 3 infantry and an artillery. I'm pretty sure I'm going to win, but I have seen weirder. Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and reinforce that combat there. Now, you're saying, Well, then, not only have you left Ukraine open, but you've left West Russia wide open, and now the tanks can blitz through West Russia into your capital. Well, true. But I have a fairly good defense in Russia right now. That is the only place they can, they could try. But I'm not too worried about it, because on my non-combat, I'm going to move these guys. Well, you'll see. You'll see. I've been doing this a little while. I have some... When you play strategy games, you have to think a turn or two ahead. You have to think of what their reaction to your actions are going to be, and how you're going to react to their reactions. And I can do that a little bit. Like I said, I'm no expert, but I can do that a little bit. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about when we get that far. But that is all I can do for combat right now. So let's commit. No more dilly-dally. So, I'm attacking two different areas. Let's go ahead and take care of this little one first. I say little one because he's only got one defender here. Oh, did I choose the wrong fight? Nope, that's Poland. Nope, that was the wrong fight. Oh well, I need to resolve both of them anyway. Oh, that was freaking useful. He got a hit on me. I'm not losing these expensive tanks. So, let's go ahead and do that. Press on, press on. That's the way to do it, boys. Press on, keep it going, keep it going. Alright, and we'll lose this. Cheaper pieces, cheaper pieces. Okay, close, close, but, we're not talking a lot of IPC here, and I did take the territory, so it was worth it, it was worth it. Now, this is the one I wanted to take care of first. I don't know why it did what it did, but it don't matter, it don't matter. As long as they're all red, as long as they fall to the red tide by the time I am done. Woo! My infantry scored a hit. My boys are badass. Alright. Alright. I lost nothing. I lost nothing. Alright. Go to the next phase. Alright, so I need to move my planes. Same issue as always. They're going to take the Western Front. He can move these tanks into the Western Front. He can move these tanks 1, 2 into the Western Front. He can move these 4 infantry into the Western Front is getting knocked out. Putting the planes there would be silly. I'm gonna go ahead and land them back in my capital where they'll be safe for at least another round. Do the preservation thing again. Non-combat, we're gonna go ahead and move my infantry into the Western Front. Ooh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I do want to defend the Western Front, because I'm going to be able to place infantry units here and replace these before Germany can go. So moving these, he could. See, what I'm seeing here is I could move these guys down here and bolster the Western Front. He'll probably still attack it, but it's going to be more costly because he's got more troops he has to fight through. And they're not likely going to attack my capital with just 4 infantry. They could send in 2 armor with those 4 infantry and be a real pain in my butt. But I will still have, by the time they get here, I will still have 8 infantry, an anti-aircraft gun, and these 2 fighter jets in defense. So it's not like Russia's going to be left wide open. These, however, are. And all he has to do is send one of these troops into Vologda, and I lose 2 IPCs, and he gains 2 IPCs. He sends 1 unit into Evenki. I lose 1 IPC. He gains 1 IPC. So there's a slow, sprawling crawl thing here he can start doing over here now. because he's here. And he's more likely to do this, I think, than attack my capital. This is a certain victory. I can prevent him from taking Vologda. Or at least make it less tasty. I'm going to send 2 of these guys here. Remember, these guys have a better defense than they have an attack. So 2 of them should be able to defend against the 4 of them. Unless, of course, he sends his tanks. You know, there's a lot of variables here. But I'm going to send the rest of these guys to my western front. I need to bolster my western front. Anti-aircraft gun's not going to do a lot of good here. I could move it up. I don't think I could move it into Poland because I just took Poland. I could move it into the Ukraine. And then any aerial combat that they do through or over the Ukraine, they're going to have to contest those. No, I'm just going to go ahead and leave them there. Because if anything, it's cannon fodder. It's a cannon fodder piece for the retaliatory strike here. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do this. Alright, now I'm going to drop all 8 of my infantry units. Where they... Well, I've got 10 of them, so I can drop 8 of them here. That defends my capital again. And then I actually have 2. I only have 1 other place I can drop these guys. I've used up all 8 of my mobilization points here. So I have no choice but to put the other 2 down here. And I'm not too worried about the defenses here. He doesn't have any armor here that can blitz this far, and even if he did, he would still have to fight through the American fighters. But having these 2 here, I will be able to, if I need them, I will be able to move them into the capital. I will be able to move them up into the western Russia. So, I mean, putting them there obviously is because I don't have any other choice. But it's not bad to have them there either. So it's not like, oh no. What do we got going on? They're taking Poland. They took Russia, or they took the Ukraine. They're regaining their equilibrium here. Things are moving quick, but I'm not going to be able to look at what the results are until it's my turn again. So here we go. Let us take a look at what's going on. Germany took over the Ukraine, Belarus, Baltic states. They still have a fairly good defense in Karelia. This is not looking good. This horrifies me. This isn't too bad. Like, I could take that back if I wanted to. What are you boys doing over here? What happened to the attack over here that you guys were doing? What's the hang up? I mean, obviously, the fighter jets are annoying you. That's a thing, but... Oh, I see. You came up here and landed in Norway. Okay, that's fine. So the U.S. is going to stage its presence here and try to move down through Karelia. Okay. That does not help me. Now, they did what I thought they were going to do over here. I prevented them from taking Vologda. It was just too tough of a target. But they are going to come up through here now. They're going to come down through here. So I need to be aware of this. Japan took out the United States presence over here. So Japan has finally gotten to the point where they're going to start harassing my eastern front. So now I am defending on 2 fronts. These guys are cut off now. The reinforcements I had over here are just gone. What happened, United States? You let me down here. Alright, this is where it starts getting tough. Because Germany is unopposed on the Western Front over here. They're not concerned about anything going on over here. Yes, they left themselves open. They're very weak, so if the Allies get their proverbial butts out of their proverbial butts, they could do some damage over here. But they haven't as yet. So Germany is completely fucking unconcerned. I have been annoying Germany as much as I can over here to distract them, and I have done a damn good job because all of their forces are going this away. This is why it's hard to play Russia. Because now I'm losing territory. I'm losing money. I'm on the downhill slide. Germany's about to come over here and maul me. Japan is now uncontested, and it's going to start sending troops over here to maul me. So, all I can say is it's a good thing I bought all those defensive units, because now I need to start using them. I need to hold on to Russia as long as I can to stay in this game until the UK and the United States get UP and get into this game. Yes, they're both still telling me, we're going to attack France. Well, do it already. I'm going to go ahead and archive these so that I don't have that little notification symbol up here anymore. Okay, well, my offensive days are done, boys. My offensive days are done. I am out of armor. I have no tanks. The 2 planes and everything else is defensive. I can attack with defensive, but what is the theme of the day? Infantry is crappy defense, or crappy offense. And I'm not on the offensive right now. I'm going completely defensive because in a straight up head-to-head fight with Germany, they got a lot more money coming in than I do. I will lose that fight so quick. My best hope is to hold on until the other boys get in over here. So it is 100% defense for me. Okay, so he's got infantry. He's got armor that can get in. He's got a fighter he can send in. My capital is in danger. I don't think he's going to attack my capital because the 8 infantry and the 2 fighters and the anti-aircraft gun, it would be a tough fight. It would be an expensive fight for Germany. So I think he's going to focus more on taking West Russia back. He's going to focus more on taking the Caucasus so that he's got this industrial complex he can start working out of. Sorry. He's going to continue harrying my undefended areas through here, whittling down my income. This X, there's a canal here. This X means that you cannot send troops through the canal because one side is controlled by the Axis, the other is controlled by the Allies. So until both sides are controlled by one or the other, if the Axis controls both sides, only the Axis can send naval units through the canal. Vice versa, if the Allies control both sides, which is what they look like they're trying to do, then they will be able to send troops through. The same is here. Right now, the reason why the Allies can travel through here is because the Allies control the area here that the canal is in. I'm not too worried about that. That does not really affect me right now, but I did see it and I figured I would point out what that means so at least you guys know. My concern right now is not getting my boutique kicked. Not a lot of defenders in Archangel or Evenki. I could attack, like I could send these 2 infantry and some forces from Russia and the Western Russia up and probably take Archangel and deal with this threat. But that's going to weaken me overall, and there's a lot of stuff coming at me right here. This is going to hurt me. So America needs to send a lot more of these. So this is the combat move. I don't think there's really any combat I want to do. I don't have any armor, so I can't blitz into Karelia. If I could take Karelia, that might take some pressure off of my front line here, because Germany's going to be like, no, we want Karelia, and they'll re-divert their forces here into taking Karelia back. But I do not have any armor. I don't have anything that can get there from my capital. I could send in some troops from here, West Russia, and take Karelia. And then Germany would probably take West Russia, which would basically, minus these, would basically restore the front line to where it was at the beginning of the war. But it's one industrial production credit. This doesn't concern me. This is annoying. This scares me. This is whatever. I could take this back right now just to be annoying. I mean, but any offensive task that I undertake right now is going to weaken my defenses. And I definitely feel like I should be focusing on my defenses right now. Japan's just going to walk through here. Germany's going to walk through here. Lord, what do I do? Caucasus is going to fall. More than likely. Alright, I need to make a decision. I know I should probably be on the defensive. But at the same time, like, I want to be annoying. Ukraine is such a tempting target right now. I don't have any armor. Bulgaria's weak. Southern Europe is... They've left themselves, they've taken all their forces off of here and moved them my direction. I have accomplished what I was setting out to do, which means this would be prime time for you guys to do something. I could weaken my defenses to take the Ukraine, and then they would have to devote some of their forces to taking it back. Any forces they're using to take back the Ukraine are not going to be involved in directly taking my now weakened... Alright, fine, whatever. They're gonna take these anyway, so let's just be as annoying as we can. Oh, Japan has armor. I was about to move these two guys. I'm gonna move all of my infantry over to the Ukraine to be annoying, because I could do the same thing I've been doing and move my infantry over and just keep filtering infantry this way to be annoying. But I just noticed this armor down here, and if I move these guys out of the Caucasus, they can blitz through here straight in, and they would take both of these uncontested. Having Japan have the ability to build troops right here is not good. Alright, so it seems counterintuitive, but I need to buy myself some time. I don't think I'm going to commit to any combat movement right now. I'm going to go ahead and hold. Yes, I know I have not created any combat encounters. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move these two infantry here. So now Japan cannot blitz through here and attack the Caucasus. They're probably still going to take this. But I'm buying myself a round, hopefully. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to move 2 units here. Give myself some defenses here. That way, in order for Japan to move up here, they have to fight for it. They don't just get it for free. That leaves the Caucasus undefended entirely. So I'm going to move these 6 units into the Caucasus. Actually, I don't need to move all 6. 1, 2, 1, 2. Germany can blitz down there so easy. I think I am going to move all 6 of those down. Germany, instead of attacking West Russia, could take these forces, blitz through the Ukraine into the Caucasus. They could use this armor and blitz through into the Caucasus. If I don't have any defenses in the Caucasus, that's suddenly a problem. I'm not going to have any defenses in the Caucasus very long, either way. But at least I've got a buffer here, because I can still move these 6 down into the Western Russian front if I want to. I'm going to move this anti-aircraft gun back down to the Caucasus, because there is Japanese Air Force over here that could start being a problem. I'm going to leave my Air Force here. They're not great defenders. They're too expensive to lose in a fight I'm guaranteed going to lose anyway. Leave these guys here, I think. It's really my best option right now. Go ahead and do that. Let's place our units. I need to start bolstering the capital for the inevitable onslaught that's coming. Put the rest of them here. Again, because I don't have any other choice. And now we are on full defense. So let's hope my allies do something useful. Axis only needs 2 more capitals. They just took 1. Right here. They just took that. So they only need 1 more. I need to defend my capital at all costs, or I just cost my team the game. We still need to take 4. This is not going good for us, allies. Alright, so it's back to us. Let's close this for now. Let's take a look at what the damage is. I did lose this. Yeah, they're pinching me in. This may be the end of the game for us, boys and girls. And the Allies have still done nothing. As a matter of fact, the US is still planning on attacking France. But the UK has pulled out of their commitment to France, and they're freaking out about India. Yes, and this is why. Japan's got its foothold. It's not contested over here anymore. So, not only is it threatening me, but it's threatening to take India. And once they take India, they're going to have an even stronger foothold on the mainland. So this is not good. So the UK has completely taken its eye off the ball here, off of Germany. They're now focused on Japan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this game is over. But even though I'm pretty sure it's over, I'm not going to quit. I'll see it through. But like I said at the beginning of the game, Russia is one of the harder nations to play, simply because they don't start with a great economy. They don't start with a great defensive structure. And they do kind of have to play the defensive game, because this is generally what happens every time. And if I hadn't built up these defenses, I'd be out already. These German tanks, man. Okay. So let's just see how long we can hold out. We're going to go ahead and purchase units. We're going to stay with the defenses. Don't have a lot of money coming in anymore. Okay, so I can only put... I'm not sure why I wasted all my money. Can we change that? Oh, okay, I did only buy 7. I thought I bought more than that. I can only place 8 in Russia. I have no more locations to put this stuff, so that would have been a waste of money. Okay, so I'm just gonna start defending like a madman. I really can't. Oh, hold on. I can be annoying here. I can be annoying here. Like this. Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Alright, oh, I could be really annoying here. I have two options here. I can either throw all of my infantry at these tanks, and I'd probably win the fight, but I'd probably lose a lot of infantry. And then on the next turn, Germany just slaps me into submission because of all of this freaking armor they got everywhere. Or I can leave them here and be as annoying as possible for as long as possible. Just because in the normal board game, just because I'm out of the game doesn't mean the Allies are out of the game. Because if the UK, if what I'm doing gave the UK and the United States enough time to get some forces put together, I would be knocked out of the game, but the other players would continue going. So maybe, even though I lost, I would have bought them the time they needed. I mean, they got some freaking forces building up over here. Maybe that would have given them the time for the Allies to win. So, my losing this way and distracting Germany and Japan and all of that, not necessarily a bad thing. But since I'm playing a single-person game, the moment I lose, I suspect the game is over. Well, it doesn't matter either, because with this rule here, the moment they take Russia from me... No, they need two, not just one. So I don't honestly know if the game would continue once I'm knocked out. I'm going to get knocked out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Alright, well, let's just see what happens. So I'm going to be as annoying as I can. While I can. Alright, Psykang, Sing Kang. Stuck on fighter jets. No. I said suck on fighter jets. You're not sucking on my fighter jets. There you go. How'd it taste? Alright, so, big deal. I won. Yeah, I cost Japan 3 IPC. Woohoo! I don't even get to keep it. I gave it back to the United States. You guys better appreciate what I go through for you. Alright, so I'm going to move them back. I have a feeling this is my last stand here. Nothing I can do. There's no point in moving. Like, if this were Risk, I would take these guys and move over here. And then I'd move over here. I'd make them chase me around the board as long as possible. But that's not how this game plays. So, that would be pointless. So I just need to hold out in Russia as long as I can. Place my units. Become as hard of an egg to crack as possible. I am out of this. I am most definitely out of this. But let's see how long I can maintain a presence here. Why do I have armor here? Is that's... Oh, that's German armor. Okay, the colors just took a second to change. I was like, where did I get that? That's not how this game works. Okay, yep. That's pretty much how I expected things to go. This is usually the way this goes. Come on, guys. Did I buy you any time? Ooh, whoo, yes, see? I knew my sacrifice wouldn't be in vain. All of those guys that got over here are not over here. I really wish the United States had more than one armor there. But that's 6 IPCs Germany won't be spending next round. And that's 6 IPCs the US will. So in theory, if this game does proceed beyond my imminent death, I may have assisted in an alliance victory, which, you know, that's kind of the point, right? So maybe I won by losing? Isn't that what Germany does? Alright, I don't care about this stuff. The UK's like, oh, there's still hope. We can attack Germany. And the United States has completed its goal. UK really thinks it's got a chance in here, huh? Okay, well, apparently when the Allies show up, UK gets all ballsy and shit. So, you know, I don't care. I'm not going to be in this much longer. I did my job. I was cannon fodder. Now, I have played this game and actually been able to win. With the Russians. It is possible. I did not pull it off this time. It did not happen for me this time. But if I can hold my capital, as long as I have my capital, I can still purchase and place units. So as long as I can hold my capital, if I can hold my capital long enough, if the UK and the United States finally get moving over here, and Germany starts moving forces back, I might be able to build up enough here to start taking over territories again. The only problem with that is, I still have to contend with Japan. It is still... Japan is Japan. Japan is Japan. Alright. No more stalling. See how much longer I'm in this. Nope, there will be no combat modes. Well, there could be combat modes. I mean, I could be so annoying right now. They don't have... I mean, they do. I was going to say, they don't have a lot of offensive capabilities over here anymore. So I could just send troops out in every freaking direction and attack on as many fronts as I can. But they're really not as weakened down as it looks. They can still get this armor into my capital. They can still get all of this armor into my capital. They can still get all of this into my capital. So if I take this crap and start trying to grab all this weak stuff, that's suicide. I just die. So I need to restrain my urges. I don't care. We're not there yet, dude. And I'm not going anywhere. Where am I going exactly? Why would you... Oh, I see. I can do that. Sure, whatever. I'm gonna move these guys down here and make Buryatia SSR a little bit harder to chew on, but you know, whatever. And mobilization. Oh, my 5 units, woohoo! Ah. See, that's the advantage the Allies actually managing to take France, is that it knocked the Axis down to where they needed 3 capitals for victory again. So it did push them back from the victory conditions a little bit. But as we can see, Germany wasn't having none of that crap. And then as we can see, the US wasn't having any of that crap. So it does look like, I mean, it's right back where they were. 1 armor unit. So we're not making any real forward progress. Obviously, the UK did a bombing run on Germany and knocked down its production value in this factory here. The United States is barely hanging on to France. One could say they probably have Germany's attention at this point. And all of Germany's forces are over here trying to take my capital. So again, I did my job. But, so the UK wants to capture Karelia, which is fine, because if they capture Karelia, I get it back, I think. That'll keep me in the game a little longer. India is still fucking freaking out, with good reason. I mean, yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. I mean, they're not an immediate threat right now. Neither Germany or Japan has a lot of forces Like, Japan could get in there with this, but India's going to stand up to that. India's not worried about that. India's not worried about this one little tank. India might be worried about 3 tanks. But I think they could still hold up. If Japan takes these and focuses on India, India's screwed. But I think Japan's getting ready to cook my McNuggets here. Not worried about 5 armor with 26 infantry and defense. But if they keep building armor and sending it west, I can only defend against that for so long. This is me. Hello. I am what's left of Russia. So I'm playing the stalling game. Let's go ahead and put these away. Don't care about those. Let's buy our defensive units, as always. Hotty dotty. We liked hotty. Alright, let's see how much longer we're in this. Down to 4. Good news is, well, they could take this and they could take this, which means I would have 2 IPC per round, but you'll never kill me. I'm in my castle. It's 1 more. Allies of slipping. We need 5 to win. I don't think we're focused on winning anymore. At least I'm not. I'm focused on should not be stupid about it either. Hey, the Americans are making moves. Not big moves. I mean, they've taken the German West Coast has been taken, but they're not really defending with much. Granted, the Germans don't have much. So maybe if the Americans and the Ukrainian or the United Kingdoms, if the Allies, my buddies over here, can manage to take Germany and knock them out so that they're no longer producing units, they will have to take these units and move them back to try and recapture Germany to get back in the game. That will relieve the pressure off my west, and I can focus on... So I'm still in it. I'm still in it. Now, I could take Archangel. I could probably take West Russia. I could probably take, well, I could probably take everything around me. With the number of infantry I have, I could probably swarm. I would lose a lot of people, but I could probably swarm and do that. But there's still plenty of oh, there goes India. Yeah, there's still plenty of retaliatory troops in the area that could laugh at me as they steal my capital. But I think I have enough infantry. I think I'm going to start building some offense in the hopes that Germany falls. Because if Germany does fall, I'm going to need offense to quickly take some of my economy zones back and form an offense to start pushing Germany out. So I'm going to buy 1 tank. That's what I'm going to do. 1 tank. Go ahead and buy another infantry. And yeah, I'm making moves. Making moves, yo. Alright, I'm not going anywhere. Where do you think, again, where do you think I'm going to go? I mean, I could. I don't know if I can resist the temptation this time, guys. I don't. I mean, this is not going to break my defenses. That's 1 IPC I get back. I can send 1 here. That's not going to break my defenses. I can get that IPC back. But I would have to do this. I can send 1. It's uncontested. I can get that IPC back. Gonna do much else. Want to get too cocky. I don't want to get too cocky. But Yeah, let's just do that. If anything, the Germans will have to take it back, or the Japanese will have to take it back. It's just an annoyance move on my behalf. Yes, I know. I have a fight here. I'm still in this, Germany. I'm still in this, Japan. Don't ignore me. Don't think I'm out of this. I will vodka Molotov cocktail you. Oh, okay. Well. Oh, wait. Oh, that was the defender phase. Oh, that was me. Okay. Whew. For some reason, I thought that was him. And then I was like, wait a minute. Why'd he shoot 3 times? He's only got 1 guy. When did I fire? Yeah, I had a brain moment. I had a brain moment. Now, this is interesting. Because they did defend. Now, I could get rid of my infantry, as I normally do, because cheapest casualties. But fighters cannot take territories. So if I want to take the territory back, I have to sacrifice one of my planes. And that fight was pointless. If I lose the infantry and don't take the territory, I just lost infantry for no reason. Like, because Germany would still control the territory. So yeah, that was more spendy for me, I believe. Yeah, I lost 4 more IPC in that fight than Germany did. But I think at this point, we're arguing over scraps at this point. So, I'm going to put my fighter jets back in my capital. Because I ain't got nowhere else to put them. Because I just took all of this. You can't land your planes in the territory unless you've had it since the beginning of the round. Warning, you have not read all your I don't care about the map notes. Alright, let's put my 2 super soldiers right there. Where else am I going to put them? Alright, boys. Do stuff. No, wait, this is Germany. Germany, don't do stuff. Germany, stop it. Germany. Okay, well, you know, if I'm being honest, I kind of knew that was going to happen. Guys, come on, you're killing me here. Come on. You can do it. Move into Germany. All of that. All of that. All of that. Oh, okay, never mind. I was going to say all of that for this. But then I saw them. Oh, Germany's going to get spanked. Alright. So, we're going to do the same thing we did last time because, you know... Ooh, I can buy 2 tanks now. Oh, watch out, Japan. Watch out. I'm going to get you. Not this turn. Maybe not next turn. Probably not the turn after. But I'm going to get you. Tanks with your names on them. Okay, I don't care. I know. I don't need to read my map note. I can't do anything to assist whatever they're doing. What is that map? My current goal is to capture this victory city. Well, why do I care about a map note for something that they did? Warning, you haven't moved any units. Would you like to proceed directly to the... Yes, I would. This is non-combat movement. Where am I gonna go? There's nowhere to go. Why would you even bother asking me? Okay, whatever. I know, this is like... That's the next stage in the game, stupid. That's your turn. You need to be presented the opportunity, even if you don't have the ability. I'm getting frustrated for no reason. Axis back to needing 2. Allies only needing 4. It's a close game. It could be anybody's game. Woo! The Allies are getting skippy. Oh, we took it. Good job, guys. Good job. Woo! Germany's down. Germany's down. And I'm still in the game. But Japan is here. Japan is. Okay. All right. So my defenses are. Mwah. Yeah. Go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try it. You ain't got enough. You ain't got enough. You ain't cracking this nut this round. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy another tank because I'm gonna poke you with it at some point. Nope. Nope. No combat. I'm good. I'll just wait here. I'll just wait here for now. For now. Go to the next phase. Just building. We're building. Building up. We're saving. Saving for a rainy day. Alright, you guys. You took over Germany. You're still far from winning. Well, Germany's making moves. They went. The Alliance took Germany and went and poked the hornet's nest, and Germany's scrambling. Germany is now taking everything it's got and trying to head back to the capital. But I think it's over for you, son. You done fucked up. Yes. Russia distracted you. Russia's like, hey, look over here. And the United States came up behind you and went, woohoo. Okay. So, ooh, yeah, look at that defense. Germany's like, Germany. Okay. So, yep, I'm just gonna keep doing what I've been doing. One tank, one armor. That's my option. Don't really need the full defense right now, because I got a good defense. Germany ain't gonna crack in my nugget anytime soon. It's got other problems. Germany is not focused on me anymore. Japan, on the other hand, is gonna become a nuisance right quick. Right quick. So, I think it's time for me to... I think I might be able to get away with regaining some of my territory so that I can at least get my economy going a little higher, so I can start actually buying some freaking troops. Caucasus is tempting. I could move my armor down there and I could take Caucasus back. But Japan's got a lot of troops in Kazakh. They would probably take... I would rather have Germany have this for now, because Germany doesn't have a... Germany's not as big a threat placing units here. If I take this, and then Japan takes it from me, which it would, now Japan can build troops here. Right now, they have to build troops here. Yeah, they have to build troops here, and then they have to funnel it this way or this way. So it takes them longer to get these troops to me. If they can just build troops right here, that's no. I need to buy a little more time for the U.S. to finish cleaning up over here so that the U.K. can get a foothold over here. Once Germany's knocked out, then the United States should redivert its attention to the Pacific. Once Japan's fighting with the United States in the Pacific, the pressure's going to ease up over here. Not sure what the UK is going to do. The UK is probably going to try and take this so that they can start funneling stuff, helping me recapture this crap, and then they'll probably funnel down this way. So I just need to stay in the game. The tides have turned. The tides have turned. So I'm going to go ahead and try to capture these just so I can get back a little bit of IPC, but I think I'm going to leave Caucasus the way it is. Just for now. Should I take Archangel? Should I take Archangel? I'm not going to worry about Archangel. Because if the United States or the UK land here and capture this, I'm going to get it back because it was originally my territory. They're not going to claim it. They're going to liberate it for me. So let's stay in the game and let's let my allies do some work for a change. They're finally here. They're finally in the war. I did my part. Now I need to recover a little bit. Alright. In phase, there is not going to be any more combat. Don't care. Drop off my... Woohoo! I'm telling you, Japan, those tanks are going to help spank you. That's what I'm building them for. So, the Allies are tipping the scales. We captured... Ooh, hold on. Hold on, Germany ain't out of it yet. Germany's pushing back. But you see, they're doing what I said they were going to do. They're taking the forces that were harassing me, and they're moving them back. They're trying to get the capital back. So that's relieving some of the tension for me. But my boys, my allies here, need to get their game stepped up because they could very easily lose this footing. Got some aerial backup over here. I can do... I'm going to go ahead and do 2 tanks. I'm going to start working on my armored core here. What do we got? So they're trying to capture Karelia, right? Yeah, the UK is trying to liberate Karelia. That's good. I appreciate that. Thank you. United States. Ooh, United States is going for Japan now. Ballsy. Especially since United States has no freaking navy in the Pacific at the moment. Oh, that means that they're taking their focus off of Germany and focusing on Japan now. That could be a bad thing. You need to stick around over here for just a little bit longer, guys. No, they're leaving to focus on Japan, and they're telling us, you guys need to defend here in Germany. I can't get there yet. There's still a wall here that you need to take care of. So yeah, the U.S. is pulling out. Oh, it's not gonna be good. Okay, well, let me put this stuff away so that I can get rid of these notifications. Alright, well, I have been building armor for a reason. I was planning on using it against the Japanese, but if I have to help the UK hold this, then I guess that's what I'm doing. So, let's go ahead and keep it up with... Nope, I already did my purchasing. Okay. Bad move. Bad move. I don't want to take too much out of Russia because there are still forces over here that could mess me up. But this is uncontested. This is uncontested. This this is possible. I don't like them here. I could probably easily take that back. But this is my biggest threat right now. And I don't want Germany getting a foothold in here again, so I need to help out with this. So I'm going to take my armor. And I'm going to take my armor and I'm going to come down to the Koskas. And I should be able to blitz, right? Because there's nothing there. I should be able to blitz up into the USSR. How do I do that? It's not a straight shot. Does blitzing have to be a straight shot? Can I move you guys? Hello? Hello? How do I do this? I'm not sure how to do this. I don't want to leave them there. because Japan's just going to take the Caucasus back anyway. What is going on? My brain is melting. My brain. Okay, I need to go here. Invalid destination. So apparently I cannot blitz through here. I don't understand why, but I just can't do it. So actually, let's not do this. Do I cancel this? Now, it would be nice to have the Caucasus back. And it would be nice to have that factory back so that I can start placing units there. But right now, it's controlled by Germany. Japan cannot come over here and take this from Germany because they're allies. Japan cannot build here because it is controlled by Germany. So as long as Germany controls this, Japan cannot threaten me with this. But at the moment I take this, Japan's going to take it from me, and then Japan can... Yeah, let's not do that. Let's take our armor and do a push on West Russia. We need to get into this fight. There are no threats from Germany right now on my capital. This is a problem. If this wasn't a problem, I could take all of my infantry and help do a push. But I can't leave myself exposed like that. But I can send a couple units. How many do I want to send? Let's send 5. Let's just send a token force. There'll be cannon fodder for my armor. As my armor moves, the infantry will move with the armor. And any hits that the defenders succeed at, I can absorb with the infantry. So they're my little meat wall. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. There was a B, but then I realized my B was the same as my A in that statement. So, alright, let's get it done. Do it, kill him. Nope, that's not how you do it. Do it right. Nope, do it right. That's... Okay, wait, I did it again. I thought that was the defender role. I got ahead of myself here. Alright, so I'm taking that territory. Alright, let's take this one. We don't need to speed to the finish line. Just a nice little crawl. Need to get some of our... Yep, see, that's what I sent the infantry for. Okay. Get some of our territory back. Need to start getting some of our money and our production back. Okay, so we're going to take these fighters, land them back in our capital. I could send them over and land them in Karelia, but if for some reason Germany decided to get spunky and try to take Karelia back, I don't want to lose those planes. Those planes are going to be expensive to replace. So let's go ahead and finish this up. Let's put my armor... Yeah, let's just keep putting it in my capital for now. I could put it in Karelia, but again, Karelia is not overly stable yet. I could very easily lose Karelia and anything in it, so let's weaken Germany up a little bit more. I think this should do... Oh, that was Germany, wasn't it? Yeah, see, Germany, I would have lost anything I put in Karelia. Seems like anytime Karelia is available to be taken, Germany wants it. And Japan's making moves too. So it's a good thing I left most of my defenses in Russia, because I'm not out of the woods yet. The U.S., did you realize that it's not time to leave yet? Is that what's going on here? Defend here, Sea Zone 5. No, they're still focused. So the UK is taking up the mantle here. The UK is taking up the US's slack, but the US is rediverting its attention to the Pacific front. So, I need to worry about Japan now. But the UK, or the Germany could very easily, if we don't watch him, or if Japan comes through here, if Japan takes back Germany, Germany gets Germany. And Germany's back in the game. Germany is not out of this yet. So I cannot... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead... Oh, this is purchasing. I'm going to do some blitzing and try to clean up some of this German unopposed area here. But I still really do need to focus on my defenses. No more tanks. I have enough tanks to do something with. But I need to brace for impact with Japan right now. Because they are definitely here. They got lots of freaking forces on the mainland heading my way. I can only hope that the U.S. does whatever it's planning on doing and gets Japan's attention over here, or interrupts the logistics here, because I'm not too worried about Germany anymore, but Japan. Japan. Alright, let's do 2. Let's do 2. And then we can blitz these guys down here. Hold on. US already has that. We don't need to blitz there. We need to go here. Okay, and then we can blitz these guys up into Poland. We can take these guys into Belarusia. I could blitz up into Leningrad, but they do still have reasonably good defenses there, so let's not push our luck. Japan is building a lot of troops and sending them my way, but ignoring them allows them to build up. So if I can take out a tank here or there, or an infantry here or there, while I have the opportunity, it would be dumb of me not to. So let's send a couple of these infantry up with this fighter. Try to knock out that armor. That does not weaken Russia enough that this is a concern. Or that this is a real concern yet. It could be. Because they have 8 armor coming in from here. They have 5 coming in from here. 5 coming in. Like, this is gonna be a problem. This is gonna be a problem. But right now, in this moment, we need to get Japan out of the game. So that my allies can start refocusing on the Japanese. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, come on. Let's make this quick. Make it quick and painless. Don't be stupid. That's being stupid. See, you did what I told you not to do. Come on. Come on, get rid of that freaking armor. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Need to move the planes back, as always. Now I have 2 infantry and Archangel. So, whoever tries to take this has to earn it. It's not, they can't just freaking walk in. It doesn't belong to my enemies anymore. West Russia, Ukraine is wide open. I don't like that. But, I mean, the Japanese could pose a threat here. So let's move my infantry over and do some defense in the Ukraine. We'll move an equal number. Let's put 5. Just a token force in the West Russia, so that the Japan or Germany can't just blitz in there and take it unopposed. Defensive, defensive, defensive. These guys have already moved. Alright, I think that's all I'm going to do now. Okay, we got lots of infantry. Lots and lots of infantry. No, we don't. I lied. What's going on here? Okay, that's what I needed to do. Just like that. Okay, so the defenses in Germany or in Russia are still good. They're not great. I mean, like I said, this armor is building up, and I'm not going to be able to hold forever. But I am still keeping Germany occupied. Everything I take, they try to take back. That's going to keep them occupied, so hopefully my allies can get in here. Oh, see, that's not good. There are no alliance forces here at all. Now, granted, Germany doesn't have a lot of forces to come take this back with. But what my allies are neglecting to realize is Japan does. If Japan comes through here and takes this from me, this is wide open, and Germany's back. Well, never mind. I did not see this. Okay, that's not a problem. The U.S. still has a reasonably good sized force over here on the mainland, so I don't need to worry about defending as heavily as I was planning on. I think the U.S. probably has this in hand. I don't know what the UK is doing right now, but I imagine they're doing something. So I'm going to take a chance. Going to take a chance that the UK is working on something. And the UK, or the United States forces, are going to be enough to deal with this. Because I need to start focusing on this. So I am going to continue. Oh, I've been bombed? Ah, see? See? I didn't even know Japan had bombers over here. Did they just do a regular airstrike? I'm not sure how they pulled it off, but they damaged my factory here. That's what the -4 means. So instead of placing 8, I can now only place 4 here. So I need to fix this. I can buy a new industrial complex and put it somewhere, but that's not what I want to do. This down here, repairing this is what I need to do. So I need to spend a little bit of money to fix that. That leaves me with 14. I need to buy more defensive units. Defensive units so I can continue protecting my capital from this, while the forces I have outside my capital I use as a more offensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move. Assuming that the United States is able to deal with this, I'm gonna risk it. This could backfire on me if UK and the US are not reliable and they don't take care of this. But I'm going to move all of these guys down into the Caucasus. Move all of these guys down here. I'm going to move these guys in here. Move everything here down into the Caucasus so I can reclaim this, get those IPCs back, regain access to this factory, and begin building some defenses here against this crap. So I've got allies over here. As long as Japan doesn't move a bunch of crap up here, these tanks shouldn't be an issue for very long. So I think I can afford to spit out 1 or 2 more troops. Again, I'm only doing this so that I can get every little penny nickel. No, I don't want to move all 17 of them. What am I doing? It's not at all what I wanted to do. I want to move up 1. I want to move 1. So that I can regain these territories, and I will use 2 troops, but if I gain these, that will be 3 more IPC that I get next round. I really should do something about these tanks, but again, I don't want to leave myself too... Yeah, I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to push it. Okay. This shouldn't be a problem. This should be... Unless they injected their airplane with, like, nuclear power, this should be over. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. You done. I lost 1 little infantry. Worth it. Worth it. We only need 1 more victory city, and the Allies win. We can do this. Where does that victory city happen to be? Oh, I think it's just Japan. Oh, we could take this. U.S., get the lead out of your butt. You could take one of these. You don't have to take Japan. We could take this. We can win this, guys. As long as I don't get cocky and... Ooh, wait a minute. I see something. This is my only real threat right now. Well, never mind. I was going to say I could, on my next turn, I could take everything I got and punch right here. Take this out. And there's nothing around here, really. Yeah, that would have been stupid. I don't know what I'm doing. Go to next phase. Alright. Drop off my boys. Yeah, this ain't over yet. Japan is still very much ready to chew on my backside. Come on, boys. Come on, we got this. We don't have to risk this. We don't have to completely wipe them off the board to win. All we got to do is take 1 more victory city. Oh, Japan is making... Oh, there I go. Yep. See, I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. I just didn't realize it was going to be right freaking now. So now you need 2 victory cities, Japan. I'm out of it. I got nothing. Even the wee little forces I got are not going to be enough. See, I don't have my capital, so I cannot purchase units. I've got no purchase capabilities. I slipped up. I'm sorry, boys. I held out as long as I could. You guys want to come over here and take my capital back? I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm not taking my capital back with that. But I can be annoying. I mean, I can do that. I can be annoying. Let's just be annoying. Let's make my last round or 2 in this game as aggravating to the Japanese as possible. We can do that. We can be total pain in their butts. That's what we're good for right now. We are the hemorrhoids of this game. We are Japanese hemorrhoids. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. What you got? What you got? You ain't got shit. You ain't got... Ow. Oh. See, I did it again. Why do I always do that? Like I said, you ain't got shit. You ain't got shit. Says the guy playing the country that ain't got shit. I ain't got shit. U.S. Germany's out of this. Germany is out. Germany ain't got shit left. Germany's in the worse bucket than I am. He doesn't even have any troops left on the board. Well, he does. Okay, he's down here. But he can't place any new units because he doesn't have his capital. So we can take care of these. The Germany's no longer an issue, and my boys can focus on doing their thing. So let's help with this problem. Wait, what? Cannot move tanks to Persia. The unit has already been moved. Oh, this is non-combat. Well, Pope, why are you asking me to non-combat again when I obviously cannot non-combat? I mean, and I can't place these units I bought because I didn't buy any. So, I don't care. I have no say in this game anymore. At least until somebody comes and takes capital back for me. US, you on that? UK, guys, like, help. I did a thing for you guys. You did a thing for you guys. You gonna come over here and help me? I mean, I realize you're not gonna be able to do it right now, but you got stuff. Got stuff. Europe belongs to you. Come give Russia back to me. I still can't buy anything. And I'm not getting IPCs to stockpile. See, yay! Who's on my side here? Who is this? Don't have enough units to properly defend this region. I do not care about West Russia. I mean, I do, but I don't. Our current goal is to capture Philippine Islands. Okay, so the U.S. is still trying for the victory conditions. The UK is like, the UK's trying to help me out here. So go UK. Go UK. Free vodka for life for you. If you pull this off and get me back in here. I'm just spectating at this point. It's good to see the game is still going on. The Allies have not lost simply because I'm not in the game anymore. So it's true to the board game. The Allies are still going. And they're a lot closer to victory than the Axis is, because Germany's gone. It's just Japan at this point. So if they can get me back in the game to be a nuisance to Japan, then the UK and the US are unopposed, and they can just, you know, get Japan under control. It's around 16. I don't think there's a turn limit. So there's time. There's time. Oh, Japan is being stubborn though. Japan is being stubborn. You know, if you guys went over and knocked out their ability to build troops on the mainland, that might help. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, we're still, the Alliance, my boys are still growing strong, stronger and stronger, so I think as long as I've at least got troops in the game, my one little tank and my one little infantry, if I can keep them in the game, then I will stay in the game. So I'm going to do absolutely nothing. I'm done. I got nothing I can do until you guys get my capital back. And it's possible. We have a lot more alliance forces over here than Japan has forces over here at the moment. So it is possible. Oh, we do need two capital cities, though. Japan took something. Japan took something. What'd Japan take? I don't know what we took from Japan, so obviously they took something back. the United States was focusing on the Philippine Islands. But there's no Navy over here, so that can't be what we took. You guys need to send some troops down into India. Maybe I can do that. There's nothing down. Maybe I can still be useful. Oh. As long as I got one troop, I'm good. I'm going for it, boys. I'm gonna go get us one of the 2 capital cities we need. We can do this. We can do this. We've got nothing down here. Where'd they all go? Oh, they're building up transports. So they are focusing on the United States as well. So the United States has actually attracted their attention. That's good. That's very good. Very, very good. I'm going to move you back here where you're a little safer, because this is still a threat here, and if they get through here and kill you, then this is all I got left. No. I don't know for a fact that I will be out of this game if I lose all of my guys, but it's possible. Go ahead and don't have anything to mobilize. What do we got going on? Allies are still funneling troops into the mainland. They're going to grab my capital for me here before too much longer. And they're pushing Japan back. Well, it looked like they were pushing Japan back, but it doesn't look like a... Oh, hold up. Do I have my capital back? Do I? I have no IPCs, but I got my capital back. I'm back in it, boys. All right, combat move. I'm gonna do a useful thing, and I'm gonna get us the last victory point. We need to win this game. Woohoo! Pulled that one out by the skin of my right, my teeth. The teeth I don't have in my head. I was gonna say something else, but it was a little crude. And I don't need to be making jokes like that. I need to be a good victim. We're done. We did it. We are the winners. I don't care. We won. We're done. Wait. No, I don't. Oh, mobilization. It's not the end of the turn yet. Okay. Yay! Victory City liberated. Oh, we're still going because they can take it back from me. I may have been a little preemptive in my celebration. Maybe. Oh, see, we lost something, but we got it back. If we still have 10 victory points at the end of that. Woohoo! Way to go, boys! Alright, so I have beaten, well, I haven't beaten it, but I did get an alliance victory with Russia. So, this video is going to be, even after editing, a little longer than what you're used to. But I don't know if I want to cut this up into multiple videos. We'll see what it looks like in editing. If you guys like this and you would like to see me play it again, maybe play one of the other countries, leave a comment in the section below. Tell me what country you'd like to see me play, and we'll see if we can't pull off another by the skin of my left butt cheek victory. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out and listening to my nonsense. As always, I have been your host, DM Renavion, saying stay safe. Have fun. We are the champions. I'm out.